Have His Grace Vrindanath Prabhuji from Michigan, and Prabhuji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 6, Chapter 9, Verse 42. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you may take over the call when you're ready.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving me this opportunity for my own purification to serve Granth Srimad Bhagavatam and all the assembled devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarim Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So once again, welcome everyone to morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. So today we are reading from Canto 6, Chapter 9, text number 42. So I will read the translation directly. It's a quite long verse to recite. So text 6, Canto 6, Chapter 9, text 42. So this is basically the demigods. They are praying to the Lord, being attacked by Vritrasura and his army. They are in much anxiety and they are praying to the Lord for their protection. O Lord, as the small sparks of fire cannot possibly perform the actions of the whole fire, we sparks of your lordships cannot inform you of the necessities of our lives. You are the complete whole. Therefore, of what do we need to inform you? You know everything because you are the original cause of the cosmic manifestation, the maintainer and the annihilator of the entire universal creation. You always engage in your pastime with your spiritual and material energies, for you are the controller of all these varied energies. You exist within all living entities, within the cosmic manifestation and also beyond them. You exist internally as Parabrahman and externally as the ingredients of the material creation. Therefore, all the manifested in various stages, at different times and places and in various bodies, you, the personality of Godhead, are the original cause of all the causes. Indeed, you are original element. You are the witness of all activities. But because you are as great as the sky, you are never touched by any of them. You are the witness of everything as Parabrahman and Paramatma. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, nothing is unknown to you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The absolute truth exist in three phases of spiritual understanding: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan iti shabdate. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of Brahman and Paramatma. Brahman, the impersonal absolute truth, is all pervading. And Paramatma is locally situated in everyone's heart. But Bhagavan, who is worshipable by the devotees, is the original cause of all causes. A pure devotee is aware that since nothing is unknown to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he need not be informed of a devotee's convenience and inconveniences. A pure devotee knows that there is no need to ask the absolute truth for any material necessities. Therefore, while informing the Supreme Lord about their distress in being attacked by Bhritasura, the demigods apologized for offering prayers for their safety. A neophyte devotee, of course, approaches the Supreme Lord for relief from distress or poverty or for the speculative knowledge of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 16, mentions four kinds of pious men who begin devotional service to the Lord. One who is distressed, Artha. One who is in need of money, Artharthi. One who is inquisitive, Jigyasu. And one who is searching for the absolute truth, Jnani. A pure devotee, however, knows that since the Lord is omnipresent and omniscient, there is no need to offer prayers or worship him for one's personal benefit. A pure devotee always engages in the service of the Lord without demanding anything. The Lord is present everywhere and knows the necessities of his devotees. Consequently, there is no need to disturb him by asking him for the material benefits. So, very wonderful and instructive verse through the prayers of the demigods to the Supreme Lord. So, what the demigods are praying actually when they are harassed by the armies of Bhritasura, attacked by the demons, they had started to run away, being tortured by the army of Bhritasura. And in that way, they started to pray to the Lord for their protection. But while offering this prayer, they realized their folly, that there is no need to request the Lord for our protection. Lord knows everything. So in this verse, what is the demigod saying here? Because you are situated as Parabrahman and Paramatma in everybody's heart. So you are witness of everything. You know everything. Nothing is hidden from you. So in that way, you know everybody's conveniences and inconveniences. So what does that mean? Lord already knows what are our difficulties, and Lord also knows what are our needs, our necessities. And Lord provides everybody to fulfill their needs and necessities. So Lord knows everything. So the demigods are praying, because you are the original cause of all causes. You are enacting all these different leelas through your spiritual and material energies. And you are the controller of all these energies. And there is nothing which is greater than the Lord. So, as in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, the Supreme Lord exists in three phases. Very famous verse which Srila Prabhupada quotes so many times. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwan iti shabdyate. So the Supreme Lord is realized in three aspects: the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Brahman aspect is the impersonal effulgence of the Lord. There is so much of aura which is emanating from the body of the Lord, and that is called this impersonal Brahma Jyoti. And then Paramatma, which is the localized aspect of the Supreme Lord. Lord is situated in everybody's heart as Paramatma. Sarvasya chaham hridaya nivishto mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So Lord tells at two separate places actually in Bhagavad Gita that I am situated in everybody's heart as Paramatma. And Lord is the witness and sanctioner of all our activities. And then of course the Lord is situated in his personal abode, in his supreme form, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord is witnessing everything. He knows everything. So what do we need? we need to develop that faith in the Lord. That Lord will fulfill my needs. And Lord does not fulfill our needs whimsically. Lord knows better than us. Sometimes we think, oh, I know this, I need this. But the Lord knows better than us. He knows what is really our need. And when Lord sanctions our needs, He simply does not provide us what we need in terms of materially also, but He purifies the heart of the devotee also. So there are so many pastimes which are mentioned in Srimad Bhagvatam, specifically the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. It's not that Lord does not provide our material needs. The Shastras say one can approach the Supreme Lord for any need, even for all our material needs also. And Lord will sanction, Lord will provide those needs, simply not just providing, but first Lord purifies us. Like in the case of Dhruva Maharaj approached the Lord for what purpose? He wanted to gain a kingdom which is bigger than his father, bigger than his father's father, and bigger than his father's father's father, which is Lord Brahma himself. So Lord first purified the heart of Dhruva Maharaj. When Lord appeared in front of Dhruva Maharaj was wanted to offer the prayers, and he could not offer the prayers. As soon as the Lord touched the cheek of Dhruva Maharaj with the conch shell, all the knowledge appeared in the heart of Dhruva, and he started offering the prayers. And then conclusively, Dhruva Maharaj says, I was looking for the broken pieces of glasses, but now I have found the diamond. What is that? What is this broken pieces of glasses? That kingdom which Dhruva Maharaj wanted to get. But finally he says, now I have got your personal audience. I have seen you face to face. I have got the real diamond. And now I do not want anything. So Lord still gave him what he originally wanted. The kingdom which is bigger than Brahma. Lord gave him a particular planet which we know as Dhruvalok. But Lord purified the heart of Dhruva Maharaj. So the message is, Lord knows everything. He knows all our needs and wants and all our problems of life also. And in turn, what we need to do is, rather than continue to ask the Lord for our desires and needs, better is we develop that faith in the Lord. So that is the ultimate conclusion of this word. Lord is present everywhere and knows the necessity of his devotees. Consequently, there is no need to disturb him by asking him for material benefits. So Prabhupada writes this statement, very wonderful and strong statement. There is no need to disturb him by asking him for our material benefit. Why? Because he knows everything. As a loving father, father knows what does the child needs. Child need a new school bag, he need new shoes or new clothes. The father already knows all that, and father will provide the needs. So there is no need for the son to go and ask the father, Father, can I get this? I want to buy this. So father will provide as per the necessity of the child. Same way the Supreme Lord, as the most loving and compassionate father, he provides all the needs of his children. In turn, what we need to do is we need to develop that strong faith in the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, which Prabhupada is quoting here in the purport, it says 4 kind of pious men. They start to engage in the devotional service. They approach the Supreme Lord. What are these 4 people? One, somebody who is in distress. He wants to relieve himself from the miseries of life. Second category is somebody who is in the need of more wealth. Somebody approaches the Lord, please give me more wealth. I want big house. I want new car. I want promotion in the job. So people approach the Lord for that purpose, artharathi. The third category is somebody who is inquisitive. He is just wondering, what is the Supreme Lord? What is this creation? I want to understand this. So out of all this inquisitiveness, they start to approach the Supreme Lord. And the third one is Jnani who is in knowledge, and based on that he approaches the Supreme Lord. So out of these four, Jnani is better, but still that is also a beginning stage. That is the beginning stage towards the pure devotional service. But the pure devotee of the Lord, that is the higher situation, because he knows the Supreme Lord is omnipresent, he is the omniscient, he is the controller of everything, he is the enjoyer of everything. So he offers prayers to glorify the Lord, not to ask for any material benefit. See, that is the art of offering prayers also. When we read the Bhagvatam, the prayers offered by so many wonderful devotees, prayers offered by Bhishma Pitama, Kunti Maharani, prayers offered by Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, all these prayers, if we analyze very carefully, there are two main elements in these prayers. One element is to glorify the Lord. It starts with glorification of the Lord. You are the supreme controller. You are the maintainer of everything. So glorifying the Lord for his being the only controller and proprietor. And the second aspect of prayer is thanking the Lord for everything the Lord has given to us. He has been providing all our needs through time immemorial. So thanking the Lord for all these. Thank you for giving me this nice body through which I can engage in your service. Every morning, thanking the Lord. Thank you for this one more day. Thanking the Lord for giving the opportunity to do our chanting one more time. Thanking the Lord for giving us the opportunity to hear Bhagavatam, read Bhagavatam one more time. Every time we visit the temple, we should thank the Lord. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come and take your darshan and associate with devotees. And we should pray that please give me this opportunity one more time. Please allow me one more time to come here, to take your darshan, to associate with devotees, to chant the holy name, to hear your katha. So second aspect, the second element of prayer is thanking the Lord. And the third aspect of the prayer is, yes, of course, if somebody wants, they can offer the prayer requesting the Lord to fulfill our needs also. But eventually that is not needed because Lord knows everything. So developing that faith in the Lord is that main ingredient. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a very wonderful verse which describes what is this faith. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 22, verse number 62, it says, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe, Shudhrada Nishchaya, Krishna Bhakti Kaile, Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. The Vishwas, the faith. What is that faith? That faith is that strong conviction that by engaging in the pure devotional service, all other activities has been completed. There is no other obligation left. There is no obligation left to fulfill our responsibility towards the society, towards the nation, towards other living entities. Actually, all other obligations are fulfilled. So having that strong conviction, that faith, that by performing devotional service to the Lord, all other activities are completed. So that is faith. Having that faith in the Supreme Lord, that he is the controller and maintainer of everything. I do not have to depend on anything else. So there are so many wonderful stories from the Shastras which we can talk about to develop that faith. Because how do we get the faith? To get that faith, we need to associate with other devotees who have got the faith. And by hearing these pastimes from the ancient history also and from our recent history also, where devotees have shown so much faith in the Lord and they have performed their activity with that staunch faith. From Satya Yuga till Kali Yuga, there are so many nice, wonderful pastimes which we can talk about to develop our faith. If we talk about from the time of Ramayana, right, the faith The one very significant pastime is when Hanumanji is supposed to cross that ocean to go to Lanka to find Mother Sita. All the Vanaras, they have arrived at the shore of the ocean. And now they don't know where to go, where to find Mother Sita. There they met Sampati. Sampati is the brother of Jatayu, the vulture. And Sampati, he informs all the Vanaras that with my foresightedness, with my eyes, I can see that Sita is on the other side of the ocean in Lanka. So one has to go across that ocean. They have to take the words of Sampati on faith. This vast ocean, and nobody is able to see through that ocean. They don't know what lies across that ocean. And nobody is able to cross that ocean. And then at that time, Jambavan also, he reminds Hanuman of his forgotten powers, that you have the ability to cross this ocean. Your birth is actually to fulfill the task of Lord Ramachandra. And when Hanuman's powers are reminded by Jambavan, by following the instruction of Jambavan, by having the faith in the words of Sampati, Hanuman is ready to fly across that ocean, jump across that ocean. So that is the faith. One statement of faith is taking one step at a time. Even when we do not see the final destination, when we are not able to see the final goal, but still taking that one step at a time, that is called faith. So Hanuman jumped across that ocean to go to Lanka without knowing what lies there in Lanka, what kind of dangers are there on the path. And he has taken the words of Sampati on faith, and he has the complete faith in the powers of Lord Ramachandra, in the mercy of Lord Ramachandra, and that with the power, with the strength, with the mercy of Lord Ramachandra, I will be able to cross across this ocean. And it says, Tehi bhanti, Jimikar Raghupati kar bana, Tehi bhanti chale Hanumana. As Lord Ramachandra shoot his arrow, Hanuman is just flying across the ocean like that, like the arrow of Lord Ramachandra. And he gives the complete credit to Lord Ramachandra. This is all the credit goes to Lord Ramachandra. See, the credit when the arrow shoots the target, when the arrow hits the target, is that the credit goes to the arrow or the credit goes to the archer? And of course, the credit goes to the archer who has shot that arrow. So same way, Hanuman is saying there is nothing to my credit. This is all the credit goes to Lord Ramachandra. I am simply the arrow of Lord Ramachandra. मैं भगवान राम का सिर्फ एक बाण मात्र हूं. So Hanuman showed utmost faith in the powers of Lord Ramachandra, and he accomplished that task. Then another pastime from Mahabharata, we see Arjuna. Arjuna also had that strong faith in Krishna. He said, if Krishna is on my side, I do not need anybody else. Both Arjuna and Duryodhana had approached Krishna to help them in this war. And when Krishna informed that I'm not going to lift any weapon in this war, on one side, I will be empty-handed without any weapon. On the other side, there's whole my Narayani Sena. And when Arjuna was given the choice, Arjuna said, I don't need your Narayani Sena. I did not come here to take help from your Narayani Sena. I came here to take help from you. All I need is you. You be on my side and you guide me. So he had such a strong faith in Krishna that if Krishna is on my side, I will emerge victorious. So that is faith. Now, from the recent history, we see 500 years ago, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, all the Goswamis, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had instructed all the Goswamis to go to Vrindavan, search out the places of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So without knowing anything, they had strong faith in the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to compose the scripture, to find all the hidden places of the pastime which has disappeared. and they accomplished that task. And then we know Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who is the writer of Chaitanya Charitamrita, at the mature age of 90 plus years, he was requested by the devotees, he was requested by Rupa Sanatan to compose this Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami saying? That I had the faith in the prayers, in the blessings of these Vaishnavas, and I took on this task of writing about the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is just because of the prayers, the blessings of the Vaishnavas, that I am able to accomplish this task at this age where I am not able to see, I am not able to remember much, and I am not able to hold the pen also properly, that I was able to write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. So just with the faith in the words of the Vaishnavas, he took this task. And then 50 years ago, Srila Prabhupada, who took the words of his guru with such a faith that he came to the Western world to preach this Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada was instructed by his guru Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati that you go to the Western world and preach to the Western world. Give this message of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam to the Western world. And with that faith in the words of his guru, empowered by that, Prabhupada took on to this Herculean task. He traveled at the mature age of 70 years. He traveled on a Jaladuta with a journey more than 30 days in water. He traveled with 2 heart attacks on the way. He arrived in USA. And then Prabhupada did so wonder that he established so many temples, he wrote so many books, and he traveled across the world 14 times in the period of 12 years. So all that was accomplished because of the faith in the Lord, faith in the words of the Guru. So developing that faith is the utmost importance for us to progress in our spiritual life. And our faith will be tested also at multiple occasions. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, what was that which made you accomplish all this? And Prabhupada said, this was the faith in the word of my Guru, that I was able to accomplish all this. And was your faith tested? Because bigger the task you want to accomplish, more challenges you will have, more you will be tested by Maya. So Prabhupada said, yes, I was tested. I was tested on 2 occasions specifically. Once Krishna tested me by taking everything away from me. So Srila Prabhupada, before he took sannyas, he was a grihastha. And as a grihastha, he was having a pharmaceutical business, right? Supplying the wholesale medicine to the retail stores and all. And Krishna practically took away everything. Prabhupada lost his business. He had so much of loss in that. And ultimately, Prabhupada, he took Vanaprastha first, then ultimately he took sannyas. So Prabhupada says, yes, I was tested. First, one test was Krishna took away everything from me. Our faith is tested specifically on 2 occasions. One occasion is when some problems come in life. That's what our faith is tested. When some challenges come in life, when some misery come in life, we lose faith in God. We turn away from God. Why it is happening with me? I am such a good person. I have been doing so many things for God. I am such a religious person. Why is it happening with me? So people lose their faith at the time of difficulty many times. When some misery comes in life, that is the test by the Lord. Do you maintain your faith at that occasion? When some health challenge come, when some financial challenge come, when some family problem come. So in those situations, are we able to maintain our strong faith in the Lord? So when many times what happens is when problems come in life, people question, why did God do this to me? Mere saath hi aisa kyun? Why is God so merciless? Actually, if we see, God is all merciful, He is all loving, He is all compassionate. But why we feel that way, that Lord is not reciprocating with me? It is our own level of surrender to the Supreme Lord. See, as a father, as a loving father or as a loving mother, Lord is loving to all His children equally. But still, Lord is more compassionate, more favorable to His surrendered devotees. Just like a mother. See, mother will shower her love on her own children more than she will shower the love to the neighbor's children. Or if some beggar come in the street, the mother will feed the nice, fresh, warm food to her own son. But if the beggar comes in the street, she may give some leftover food from yesterday or day before yesterday, whatever is left over, she may give that. That's very natural because she has more love and affection to her own son than anybody else on the street. Same way like a king. The king will give nice royal clothes to his own son. And when king is distributing the clothes to all the citizen and all, he is doing some charity. King may give some ordinary clothes to everybody. But to his own son, king will offer the royal clothes, the nice silk clothes. So there is nothing unnatural in that. So same way the Supreme Lord, He is equal to everyone. But somebody who approaches the Supreme Lord, who is surrendered to the Supreme Lord, He takes special care of those devotees. Just like somebody who is staying close to the tower, you receive a better signal from the tower. More you turn away, go away from the tower, your signal gets weaker and weaker. Same way, more we stay closer to the Supreme Lord, taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, more we feel His mercy and His compassion. And if we turn away ourselves from the Supreme Lord, we do not feel that same level of compassion and mercy. So all this is our own way, the way we approach the Supreme Lord. And there are so many other examples. Sometimes people may say, why Krishna is not favoring me much, or why Krishna is giving me problem in my life. That problem also sometimes come as a test. Are we able to maintain our faith in the Lord in those challenging situation, in those pressing situation? If a student fail in class and he starts to blaspheme the principal of the school, oh, this principal, he has envy towards me, that's why he intentionally failed me in the class. Hey Baba, that principal maybe do not even know you, that you also exist in school. The way basically you performed, the teacher graded you accordingly. It's not that the principal has some special enviousness or some hatred towards you. Principal, what he has done is he has brought the students together, he has brought the teachers, and he has just brought all together. And based on how the student perform in the class, the teacher is grading. It's not that principal is giving some extra special favor to somebody or having some envious towards some other student. See, the teacher itself in the class may behave differently with different students based on how they reciprocate with the teacher. Some students, they are very obedient to the teacher. They are listening very carefully. They're performing their activities, doing their homeworks, paying attention in the class. So the teacher is more favorable to those students. And there are some backbenchers in the class, some students who have no interest in studying. They are throwing the chalks from the bag. They are making some paper planes and throwing at the teacher. They are throwing some banana peels in the front, and they are disturbing the other students also in the class. So the teacher, of course, will have a different treatment to those students and a different treatment to those students who are obedient to the teacher and paying their utmost attention in the teachings. So same way, a devotee who follows all the instructions of the Supreme Lord, who follows the laws set aside by the Supreme Lord, the Lord gives special favor towards those devotees. But the other people who do not follow the laws of the God, who do not follow the instructions of the God, then definitely the God will have different treatment for those people. So Lord has put together all this system, the law of karma, the law of nature, and based on how we behave, the way how we act, same way the problems come in life. So one should not think that the Supreme Lord is favorable towards one particular set of people and he is unfavorable towards others. Here the demigods are praying to the Supreme Lord when they are in this anxiety being attacked by the army of Vrittasura. They are praying, please help us in this situation. But ultimately they say that you know everything. You know the conveniences and inconveniences of everything. For Lord, everybody is equal actually. The demigods are also same way, the demons also same way. The demigods, the Sura and Asura, what is the difference? Sura is somebody who is obedient to the Lord. Those are called Sura. Asura is ones who are not obedient towards the Lord. They are interested in their own sense enjoyment. Right? They do not want to follow the instructions of the Lord. But the Lord is still compassionate towards everybody. He provides the needs of everybody. Lord has created this water, earth, fire, air, all these ingredients which are as the basic necessity of life. And those are equally available for everybody. If somebody claims to be an atheist, still the Lord is giving all their necessities of life also. He is still giving them the light. He is still giving them the air to breathe. He is still giving them the food. So it's not that the Lord is saying, okay, this air is not to be given to these atheist people who does not believe in my existence. He is still providing all those basic necessities. But somebody who is obedient towards the Supreme Lord, who accepts the existence of the Supreme Lord and approaches towards the Supreme Lord, the Lord shows his special favor towards that devotee. So the first category of test comes when somebody receives a misery in life. That is our test of faith. And the second test which comes in life is sometimes the Lord may give all the opulences. And that is also sometimes the test of the Lord. When we receive the opulences in life, at that time also people just become completely absorbed in their enjoyment and they forget Krishna. They start thinking, why do we need God? We are the God. Right? We can control everything. So when opulences come in life, that is also a test of the Lord. If somebody drifts away from the path of religion and they start engaging in all sort of irreligious activities. See, Lakshmi Devi, she is very chanchala. She is known as chanchala because she does not stay at one place. Somebody who is worshipping Narayan, who is worshipping the Supreme Lord. So Lakshmi also comes along with the Supreme Lord. By default, she is also serving the Supreme Lord. Lakshmi is always massaging the feet of the Lord. But somebody who want to get Lakshmi only, they have no interest in serving the Supreme Lord. Lakshmi does not stay at that place much. She is chanchala. See, when Lakshmi comes with the Supreme Lord, Lord rides on Garuda. And that is the carrier of Lord Vishnu. So Garuda means when the wings of Garuda are swinging, the sound of the Vedas appear from that. So the Garuda, it represents the Vedic knowledge. It represents light. It represents freedom from darkness. So when Lakshmi is coming along with Lord Narayan, it means we are receiving the enlightenment. We are receiving that knowledge. And by receiving that Lakshmi, if somebody get the opulences while completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord, the intelligence comes that I should engage these opulences in the service of the Supreme Lord. I should utilize everything in the service of the Lord. But if somebody is interested in getting only Lakshmi, they are not interested in Narayan. What happens if Lakshmi comes by herself? What is the carrier of Lakshmi Devi? What is the vehicle of Lakshmi Devi? That is an owl, Ullu. That is the carrier of Lakshmi Devi. And Ullu, what does Ullu, an owl, represent? Owl represents darkness, ignorance. So if one is receiving that opulences in life, one should see, is that really, after receiving the opulences, what is the consciousness of that person? If one is utilizing those opulences in the service of the Supreme Lord, it means one's consciousness is guided by that knowledge. But if somebody, after getting the opulence, now want to enjoy for himself, want to engage all the wealth for his sense enjoyment and start doing so many sinful activities also, it means one has been guided by that ignorance, darkness. And the Lakshmi does not stay for a long time in that person's place. So the test in life comes in two ways. One is the Lord will give the misery also sometime in life, the problem in life, and see if we are able to stay stable in this path of bhakti. And the second category of test come is when we receive some opulences in life. In that situation also, are we able to maintain our staunch faith in the Supreme Lord and continue to engage in that service of the Lord? So faith, developing that faith in the Supreme Lord and maintaining that faith in the Supreme Lord, that is the utmost important for our spiritual progress. Gradually, more and more we develop our faith in the Supreme Lord, our progress also becomes more and more stable. As it describes in Nectar of Devotion, the process of progress in spiritual life, it starts from Shraddha. Adho Shraddha tato sadhu sangha, tato anartha nivritti. So it starts from the level of Shraddha. So there is a difference in Shraddha and Vishwas. What is the difference? Shraddha is a flickering initial faith. Sometimes we start in the process of spiritual life with that small seed of faith. At least somewhere, some little faith is there. Because of that, we came in contact with devotees. Maybe we came in contact with the books. We heard the holy name. So that little faith in the heart, that is Shraddha. And our Shraddha is like the very tender creeper. People may have Shraddha in one person, one process, and their Shraddha may change tomorrow. Tomorrow they may develop Shraddha for some other person, for some other process. So Shraddha is flickering in nature. But when that Shraddha matures and matures and matures, so Adho Shraddha tato sadhu sangha, tato anartha nivritti, and then it reaches to the stage of Nishtha. And that Nishtha, that is actually that Vishwas, that strong faith. In English, we use the word faith, confidence, trust. Right? These are all considered as synonym words. But in our Sanskrit language, there are different words used. Shraddha, Vishwas, Nishtha. That Vishwas, that Nishtha is that staunch faith which is unmoving. One does not lose that faith in the person or in the process, no matter what. See, if your faith is destroyed in one person by just hearing some negativity or hearing something, oh, this person, he did something like this, or he used to do like this many years back. So by just hearing some little bit, this negativity, if we lost our faith in that person, that is not called Vishwas. So we had little Shraddha, but it was not had developed to the level of Vishwas or Nishtha. And the stage of Nishtha is no matter what, we do not deviate from that process, from that path. That is called Nishtha. And when one comes to the stage of Nishtha, then our bhakti becomes more and more stable. So this process, these 9 steps which are given here, Adho Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Anartha Nivritti Nishtha, then Asakti, Ruchi, Bhava, Prema, leading to the Prema, that is the final stage, developing the love for the Supreme Lord. But when we come to the stage of Anartha Nivritti, what does that mean? Does that mean that all the anarthas have now been gone, removed, and we have no anarthas left? Actually, the anarthas continue till we come to the stage of prema. Even at the stage of bhava, ruchi, asakti, some anarthas are still there. So what does this process, particularly anartha nivritti, mean? That the anarthas have been relieved to such extent that now the person becomes stable in his bhakti. That the previous anarthas are not disturbing him much. So for example, in the beginning, we started chanting the holy name. Somebody started chanting 2 round, 4 round. They have taken the vow now to chant 16 round. And person maybe keep going up and down in their process of chanting. Sometimes they reach to 16 round, they again go back to 8 rounds. They again start doing so many other nonsense activities, whatever their previous sinful activity somebody may be engaging. So if somebody is going up and down in that process, that is that the anarthas are not relieved to such an extent that person has become stable. So becoming stable means the process of coming to the stage of anartha nivritti nishtha means anarthas have been removed to such an extent that the person has become stable now. He is fixed in his vows, he is fixed in his daily spiritual activities. So we need to develop that stage of Vishwas, that Nishtha in the Supreme Lord, in the process, that this process works. So many devotees, they have taken to this process, and with their utmost commitment, their utmost enthusiasm, they have been able to continue in their journey. They have attained the favor, attained the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So if we develop that faith, then we can also progress in this path of bhakti and attain the ultimate goal of life, which is developing the love of Godhead, which is going back to the abode of Krishna, going back to the spiritual abode. So that faith is very important. So again, as a conclusion, Prabhupada here writes, a pure devotee, however, knows that since the Lord is omnipresent and omniscient, there is no need to offer prayers or worship him for one's personal benefit. A pure devotee always engages in the service of the Lord without demanding anything. The Lord is present everywhere and knows the necessities of his devotees. Consequently, there is no need to disturb him by asking him for material benefits. So then somebody may ask this question, and why do we ask the Lord, please relieve me from this health problem? Or if we are asked by the devotees to pray for them when they are in some health problem or something. So is that praying to the Lord for other devotees also? Is it okay? Prabhupada answers that even when Prabhupada was very sick during his last days also, and devotees say, we want to pray to Krishna to give you good health. Prabhupada said, that is good that you want to pray, but the way to pray is you can pray to the Supreme Lord. If you so desire, please help this person. If you so desire, please relieve this person from his miserable health condition or his particular suffering situation. So the prayer should be not that, oh God, please remove his problem. We should pray, if you so desire. If you think, whatever you think is better for this person, please do that. If you so desire, please help this person in this particular way. So it's not about demanding from the Lord. It is about requesting the Lord to do whatever he feels is the right thing, is in his best interest. So art of prayer, 3 aspects, 3 different elements of offering prayer. First one is always, first thing is to glorify the Lord. Second thing is to thank the Supreme Lord for all the things which he has given to us. And then the third thing is, if we so want, we can request for some particular benefit also, to either to remove some problem in life or to provide particular necessity of life. So I will stop it here. Grantra Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Please forgive me if I spoke anything wrong, if I said anything which is not as per the direction of scripture. That's my own fault. The scriptures are perfect. If somebody would like to add anything, please feel free. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for such a wonderful class and giving us very nice tips. And the practical situation devotee usually ask, why is Krishna doing this to me? I'm doing so much service and this, but still I'm put into this condition. One of the Mataji last week came up with this, and you elaborated very nicely, and I will refer this answer that you have given to Mataji. It really helps. Thank you again, Prabhuji. So I will ask devotees if you have any question and comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunja Rasadas from Germantown.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, it was really wonderful and nice to hear you. We like your classes, definitely. And one question arises to my mind when you, because my phone was not on speaker that time when you were explaining about Hanumanji, Shri Ram. So Hanuman jumped and he goes to Lanka. So like, it's not me, but it's a normal question. Like, it arises to maybe everyone's mind, like how Hanumanji was able to cross. Like, was it his power or was it his father's power, who was Pavan Putra Hanuman? Or like, if in this age, if anyone thinks scientifically, bodily feature, is it possible? Then, if you could please elaborate a little bit in brief. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your question. So scientifically, right, one question is, okay, is it possible scientifically to cross beyond or do a jump that big of a jump like that? Is it on person's personal ability? So one thing is, yes, Hanumanji, he was able to accomplish that task on his strength in terms of jumping across. It's not like as a jumping across, it's flying across, right? And Hanumanji has that ability, those powers, where one can become lighter than the lightest and heavier than the heaviest. Ashta Siddhi. So in Hanuman's glorification, one particular stanza comes, Ashta Siddhi Navanidhi Ke Data, that he has these, all the Ashta Siddhi, he has those. So scientifically, somebody thinking, oh, can somebody become smaller than the smallest or heavier than the heaviest? There have been so many yogis which have accomplished that task. If we talk about the yogis, there have been so many yogis who can live in the Himalayas in that cold weather. How they maintain, how they sustain themselves because of their mystic powers. And now regarding this scientific achievements also, so we know India recently successfully completed this Chandrayaan-3, the going to the moon, landing on the moon. India became the 4th country landing on the moon and the first one to land on the south pole of the moon. And Prabhupada, in his previous statements, in the previous lectures also, and in the written statements also, Prabhupada had given different statements to that. In some places, Prabhupada had called, when USA was trying to go to the moon, that it's a hoax. In some statement, Prabhupada said, even if somebody goes to the moon, what is the benefit? What is the point? You are not allowed to stay there permanently. You will be again kicked out. And Prabhupada has mentioned that there are 3 ways one can go to the higher planets, to the different planet. One way is by mystic power. And if somebody has that mystic power, they can travel across planet, interplanetary travel. That is one way. Second way is because of some scientific advancement. Based on this scientific technology, one can build a spacecraft or something, and they may try to go to another planet. And the third method, automatically based on the principle of karma. If somebody has done so many of pious karma, they may be promoted to the higher planetary system. They may go in the next life, they may take birth in moon, sun, on the Swargaloka or even Brahmaloka, etc. So one can automatically, based on this principle of karma, the law of nature, one is promoted and demoted up and down to different planetary system. So if now coming back to your question, so based on the mystic power, if somebody is able to travel from one planet to another planet, but to speak from going one part of earth to another part, just crossing across the ocean. So Hanuman is able to jump or fly across that ocean. Now we talk about long jumps and high jumps, right? All these athletes. What is the capacity in Kali Yuga to have a long jump or high jump? Right? 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet? How much? And at that time, Hanuman crossed across the 100 yojan ocean, 800 miles. And Hanuman, what is he claiming himself? He is not claiming that I am able to accomplish this on my own strength. Hanuman is saying, I am able to do this. I have faith in the power of the Supreme Lord to accomplish his task. He is empowering me. If he so desire, I will be able to cross this ocean and cross all the hurdles also, all the different problems which come on the way. And as I was mentioning earlier in the lecture, Hanuman is saying, I am just like the arrow of Lord Ramachandra. The credit does not go to the arrow. Credit goes to the archer. The archer shoots the arrow. If the arrow hits the target, that is the credit of the archer. So same way, if I am able to cross across this ocean, it's not my credit. It's Lord Ramachandra's mercy. He is giving me that strength. He is giving me the ability to cross this ocean. So if somebody was telling Hanuman, you have so much strength, you have so much power, Hanuman said, this is not my strength, this is not my power. I am just the storehouse. And somebody has kept that power in that storehouse. And who is the owner of that strength? That is Lord Ramachandra. Just like a very wealthy person, he has some go down and he is putting so many things, his property in that go down. So it's not belonging to that go down. Whatever is kept in that go down, that belongs to that owner, that proprietor. So same way Hanuman says, I am just the go down. I am just the storehouse. Lord is keeping all the strength here. So that is the humility of Hanuman. He is not taking any credit at all. He is giving all that credit to Lord Ramachandra. Because of him, I am able to accomplish this. Okay, so hopefully this answers your question.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. It was actually perfect explanation. Actually, I recite Hanuman Chalisa every day after I take my shower coming from bathroom. I recite that every day without fail. And sent one line, Ashta Siddhino Didike Data. So that explains everything. So
Yes.
yeah, and yeah, Hanumanji, when he took birth, and his first jump was towards the sun, so that is also known to everyone. So I just wanted to everyone know a little bit more about Hanumanji, so you gave a few more things to us. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's always wonderful to hear you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My Danat Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the class, and thank you to see you live. Prabhuji, I wanted to add one thing. It was some character in this Ramayan, right? Who reminded also. So it's like reminded him of his powers.
Jambavan.
Jambavan, yes, Jambavan. It's not coming in my mind. So, from that take, when we're in association of devotees, then devotees actually kind of empower us and remind us of our strength. Sometimes we feel, oh, we can't give a class, we can't do so-and-so seva. So that's also, how devotees remember. They know each other's strength and they encourage. Because there's no feeling of enviousness when we are among devotees, So I just wanted to add that.
Yes, Mataji, very nice point. Thank you.
And one more thing I wanted to ask you is like you talked about problems coming and test. It's a test, right? So I totally correlate any problem coming in anyone's life as karma. It's one karma, and that got fructified to the extent that now you have to face this health problem or some accident, or there could be many things, COVID, so many things people are facing. Like there are 4, like birth, death, old age, disease, and there are 3 more. They say, the Trishul of Durga ji, the Adi Bhautik. So 4, total 7, right? All these problems are there. But, yes, of course, we hear a lot of people saying, even the materialistic world, oh, अच्छा ये problem आ गया, भगवान ना आपको test कर रहे हैं. So, and then at the same time, we hear that Lord is so merciful. He's like our Father. He wants us to come back to Godhead. So then if God is like Krishna is like that, he's like our Father. He doesn't want us to, this thing. Then at the same time, when we hear this, there's a little contradiction.
Okay.
And I really like that point you mentioned also about Prabhupada ji, that, he said you can ask anything, but if the Lord desires, if the Lord so desires, otherwise it's good to pray. So, like, for example, suppose, let's think it like that. I just want to mention this point so I can remember for future. Suppose we are in need of a car or something, or maybe a home, a bigger home. So we pray to Krishna that give us a big home, because now, there are more family members, older people also staying with us. We need a separate room for the altar, things like that. And then, but if you so desire, right?
Yes.
So that can also be for a home and all these materialistic things of the world.
We can. So see, first of all, the point was there is no need to ask the Lord. He knows what we need. And if we want also to pray in that way, so just better to say, if Krishna, if you so desire, right? If you think that is good for me, then please provide me this so I can serve you better.
Yeah. So that is that can be asked. I want to go back to the first question, but that can be asked for health, like devotees did for Prabhupada, but even for material.
Yes, we can ask in Bhagvatam, right? The verse comes in, no matter for what reason somebody asks, one should still approach the Supreme Lord. Akamo sarva kamo va moksha kamo udaradi. So if somebody is full of desires, if somebody is free of desire, if somebody is desirous of liberation, no matter what the desires is, in all situations, one should still approach the Supreme Lord. Why is that? Because if somebody approaches other entities, other demigods, Devi Devatas also, they may fulfill their desires, but that is temporary. But when they approach the Supreme Lord, even for their desires also, Supreme Lord will fulfill their desires, but at the same time, he will purify also. So for that purpose, for that reason, one should approach the Supreme Lord in all situations, either for desires or without any desires also. So Krishna will take care of everything. Now, I want to come back to your question because time is limited. I have a hard stop at 8:40 to attend my office meeting. So I want to come back to your first question here.
Yes,
that, what is the label we put on? Is it because of our own karma that we are getting these different situations in life, even some misery or some opulence, or is it some test of Lord? So in general situation, for a person who is just going along with the flow of the life, in general, always we should think it as the karma principle, that this is because of my own karma that I am facing this situation. And to sometime to when somebody is suffering in that situation, and you go tell that person, "Arey Baba, this is your own karma. You may have done something wrong," and you start giving him that philosophy, that person may become more upset in that situation. So at that situation, to calm down that person, to pacify that person, to uplift that person, it is better to encourage, and it's better to say at that time that maybe just treat it as a test of the Lord. Krishna is testing you. Are we able to maintain our faith in the Lord? So we should think it in that way. Yes, for a general person in ordinary people's life, everything is happening because of karma. The way we act in this world, we will be getting the consequences. Now, for a devotee who has dedicated his life to Krishna, for that person, we are saying this tests come in life in two ways. One is Krishna may take away everything. Krishna want to see our more and more dependency. Krishna want to make us more and more dependent on him. And sometimes Krishna may shower a lot of opulences also to test that is this person able to maintain his composure, his calm after getting these opulences also. So for a devotee who is trying to progress in spiritual life, it may come as a test also. In general, yes, it is based on karma. Everybody is reaping the result of their karma. So does it make sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. And of course, when, because we've read Shastras, so devotee takes it as a, I had read somewhere that devotee takes it as a mercy.
Yes.
That like, it's good that I can get rid of the karma now only in this life, because I want to go back to Godhead. I don't want to, carry forward and have those everything should kind of finish up here, wind up and go,
Right.
It's good that, we have so many devotees who go through cancer and all, right? There are very senior Maharajas also who have cancer and all. So in a way, it's good. We should think that they have that, because at least, that with the disease, some of them have left the body also. And so then they're completely purified by that. Is that also true?
Yes. See, sometimes what happens is Krishna, why this sometime little misery comes in the life of a devotees also, that is also Krishna's mercy. In what sense? Krishna says, I don't want you to come back again to finish to kind of finish this off, this business in this material world. I want you to get rid of this in this lifetime only. So Krishna sometimes may give that just to rid the devotee of the previous little bit tinge of the material contamination left. Right? So that is also mercy of Krishna. Krishna doesn't want us to see again in the another lifetimes where we may again get entangled by the influences of Maya. So Krishna may give little misery in this lifetime also to just finish off this account and say, okay, you just get rid of this and come back to me after this lifetime itself.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. And also what happens when a misery comes, no? So life takes a different detour and you become like, okay, now I have to take care of this problem that has come, and slow down and not just think that this life is just all good. So, and we kind of slow down in life and then we handle it. And of course, our prayers, just like Kunti Maharani, why she says, give problem to me so I can remember you. But she's taken the nectar of it. But with us, when the problem is coming, then we're asking. We're remembering Krishna more, like at every step, oh, Krishna, what is going to happen? This, so, but then, we are just in no position to ask Krishna to give us problem, We are trying to find Krishna when the problem is there. Kunti Maharani is asking for problem. And when the problem is not there, she's asking for it. Just the opposite.
We are not at the stage of Kunti Maharani. Right? We are struggling sadhakas. Better is to just pray Krishna. If without problems I can progress in bhakti, I want to have a little peaceful life so I can continue to progress.
Yes, but when we...
I would like to interrupt Mataji. Nowadays this of one of the Hanuman Bhakta. He's very famous in India, Bhageshwar Dham, Bhageshwar something, So he is coming up so much, but I don't know, like really he is, but because we see on the videos, like, TVs, like Narendra Modi has visited his place, then Amitabh Bachchan,
Yeah.
many people are going and visiting him. So, but at the same time, he like, in this age, people go there to just ask for problem
Anji,
solved.
great, first class. We are
So
so lucky to have all people, good people around.
Yes, yes.
I think there is some disturbance, Prabhuji. Someone is talking on the background. So
Okay.
yeah, I know
Actually,
you have to
the
stop,
host has
Prabhuji.
Manindra Prabhu, you have to mute from your side,
Yeah,
being
I
the
did.
host.
I did mute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody.
Mataji, I think Prabhuji has to hard stop at 8:40. So if we can,
we have 4 minutes. 4
yeah,
minutes.
okay.
Yes. So, Prabhu, yes, I know your point here. People go to approach different sadhus, different babas for
Yeah.
some material gains. That is generally people's mentality, right? Somebody is able to show some magic, some little, he is able to influence some people, and everybody want to approach. That is what Krishna says as Jigyasur, right? The inquisitive. Those are all inquisitive type of people who have not developed a strong faith in Krishna. And because of their inquisitiveness, they hear something, oh, this Baba is doing some magic, or he has a lot of powers, he's able to show something. I also want to go and try it out. I also want to go and check it out. So that is inquisitiveness. So they are going, and Bhageshwar Dham, what he is doing is, he is saying, I am doing it on the strength of Hanumanji. He is making people chant the name of Hanuman, chant the name of Lord Ram. So
Yes.
indirectly, they are able to chant the name of Lord, and they are connecting with the Lord. But still, they don't have that strong conviction, that strong faith. So that's what Krishna says in this verse of Bhagavad Gita. Artha arthi jigyasur. So they are in these categories only who have started their path in religious life and spiritual life, but a lot of progress need to be made yet.
Yeah, I think it is a kind of mystic power, right, Prabhuji? Like he is trying to display. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Mataji, please continue. Yeah. I think Mataji is on mute.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So I think if we are done,
so we pay obeisances to all the devotees on the call. Vancha kalpatrubhishcha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. Ananda Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Vrindanath Prabhu ji ki